Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 8.52. Okay, we're getting ready here to invade the Shetland Islands. Okay, and capital ship fire control systems have just advanced, though I don't think it helps with shore bombardment. Escorts is really what I'm most concerned about, but we're doing well. Okay, let's do that. Well, there's a lot of them there. We may need a bigger boat. Or at least we're not going to invade somewhere and get stuck. Get overrun. Either we win or we lose. And if we lose, we can just get back in a boat and go home. And Division HQs have improved. So our staff work is getting better. Okay, 1942, that's an alright. We'll let that continue. Montgomery's gone good. Look at skill 7. Wow. He can't take it with this force. I don't know that we can. It's insane. I don't know if it's the wrong thing here or just we need a bigger boat to carry more troops. Yeah, that we need a bigger boat, of course, comes from Jaws. I don't know if you remember that ancient movie a long time ago, Jaws. Okay, fighter. We're trying to handle it. And let's go back to Map Air. It's back in 1940. I'm just watching if we start and we're about ready to stop this and get a bigger boat. With more ships. But I don't need to wreck any of these divisions. Yeah. Oh, it's a major defeat. Well. Okay, go home to here. So we'll organize a better invasion force shortly. I think these are just too close to the Germans. Are getting pounded a little bit more than like. Yeah, I know it means mostly these guys just all get to go up to here. We are letting the air rest a bit and reorganize. Get back up engagement. Oh, okay, mechanized infantry. That's nice. I think that's just a one and done. Yeah. So that's good. And bombing sites have advanced. Let's see, yeah. Get our nav area. Identify surface vessels. A little better. I'm not sure you right now. I don't know why Germans put so many troops up there. I mean, obviously they're holding it and they want to take it back. Maybe it's just something as simple as they want to fight us for it there, but oh, we're sinking some. Yep. So I get a little bit of convoys there. There. Not much, but so long as they have some convoys operating. Oh, forgot about this over here. Oh damn, I would have been able to attack already. Yeah, I should take my eye off the ball there. Okay, active sonar, that's very good. Now let's go for ships. Now let's add that to our subs. Yeah, maybe this isn't the right time to do another attack. Oh, no, maybe it is. These guys are doing no good there, I guess. So let's move you back over to here. Let's see if we can do it better this time. Keep pushing faster, harder, overrun them. Okay, well. Okay, we can't even go there, so. Attack. They're all attacking, great. Doesn't support that attack. Okay, Special Forces Combined Arms. Let's advance. That's good. Yeah, we've got a fair amount of this, so we'll let that continue. And the Nanjing Massacre. A few weeks ago, our warplanes began bombing Nanjing, concentrating their effort on the downtown areas, which were mostly destroyed. This is Japan. Lord Halifax reports on it. So a few weeks ago, I think Japan. I don't know. I guess everybody gets this message. Knowing that our troops were en route towards the city, the people panicked and tried to flee. When Japanese ground forces reached Nanjing, they were met with only minimal resistance from the overwhelming and fatigued Chinese military. Yeah, because I know the British didn't bomb Nanjing, that's for sure. 4 days later, with us attacking the city from all, again, the British didn't do that. The Chinese forces were routed, fearing the consequences of surrender. The Chinese soldiers donned civilian clothing and retreated into the city. According to some of our military commanders, various atrocities against the civilian population of Nanjing occurred. Oh, they very much did so. Occurred during the following weeks. There are rumors of 200 to 300,000 dead. News of this massacre will now hit the world and probably deteriorate our relations with the democratic countries significantly. And it did. It's same text here. Yeah, no, it was a Holocaust. Yeah, it wasn't millions dead in that one action, but it was in those sort of numbers. So it was as bad or as brutal as anything the Nazis did, at least in that, like I say, scale of environment. It wasn't as many people as the Holocaust, but for those that it happened to, it was just as bad. And gasoline engines, that would be armor. Okay, just as much of war crime or atrocity as anything else. It wasn't, and that's the 200 to 300,000 after the Japanese got the city. And it wasn't confined to, say, military-aged men that might have put on civilian clothing to hide. It was women, children, elderly people. It wasn't just like you may go, oh, military needs, bombard the city kind of thing so that our soldiers don't die kind of thing. No, it was done after the victory is what they were talking about. So I think we have a few viewers in Japan, yes, and Japan has not really acknowledged that properly. If you think I'm lying about this and want to quit the channel, you can, but the Nanjing massacre was a brutal atrocity. It was not, again, I'm not talking about the bombing of the city. They did not have precise targeted bombing like we do today. Cities were industrial centers, so in my opinion they were legitimate targets, whether it was Japanese. Now, whether they should have bombed Nanjing or not, by the Japanese meaning, would it be better to take the city, which was the capital of China, intact, to use it as a, use the industrial ability? That's a good debate you could have. I can see you having that debate. But they didn't. Again, I can say, I can see that as a military target. Like bombing the Japanese cities. That was a military target. It was not directed at a civil population after they had successfully taken the city. There is a very big distinction there. So okay, let's see. We're going to go with a medium fleet, I think, this time. That, I think, will get us some more of the... Use some for fishing. I think that may get us, yes, more than motor torpedo boats and torpedo boats. Along with, of course, auxiliary vessels. Great. No longer attack. We didn't move fast enough, maybe, I don't know. Or maybe, well... Now we're getting down to their air range. I think we'll retreat back after we win this. I think we will. That air range just means we're getting a little too close for them. So there's nothing I really need there. That's more of just, you know, messing with them. Messing with the AI. Chasing the fleeing Italians down as they leave because they have no supplies. Maintain their war effort. Always been a bit fascinated by the Italian campaign of defense. And it's definitely something that in the long run, however you want to determine that, you're going to lose because there was no effective way. I mean, I'm sure you could have set up some sort of factories to reload some ammunition, but in a practical way, it's not even worth that unless you have a source of lead and the various nitrates or whatever to make the cartridges. So there just really wasn't the industry base to even make the basic bullets there. So you have to stock up. And you can stock up from, you know, what, 1936 to 1940. You can stock up a lot of stuff. But eventually in the long run you're going to win. But saying all of that, I think you could have stocked up enough to hold out until an aggressive, maybe combination with the Germans, but at least a better run campaign that happened historically, and to take northern Egypt and open up a supply route, and then at that point work on fighting your way to the coast and then opening up supplies. But the Italians did not do a very good job down there. But these guys are getting out. Should have some Marines coming in up here somewhere soon. Maybe they already made it here. No. Okay, coal. Steel. Okay. Then you need to manage these well if you're going to use them. Normally as Germany, I don't use them. Scrap metal tribe. We're not too far down, but we are down a little bit. So we're going to gain a bunch of metal through the scrap drive, which increases that. And we're going to use this to lower it back down. So if you're not doing too much in the way of rationing, you can keep all that under check. And I think that's a fairly good thing. And we don't need petrol ration. So that'll even help there a bit more. So yeah. Yeah, I know this is a bit of a, well, it's not down here yet. Should have, oh, good. Bit of a slow pace of the war. I've been watching more YouTube other players recently than I normally do at any one time, but just as because Hearts of Iron 4 come out, and I wanted to see what other people's reactions were to the game. Very well, are you happy there? Good for you. You're gonna build command distance. That's good. And there's something else a little bit. And a lot of those guys, man, they play fast. Now, I sort of kind of get it. With the idea that they want to hold your interest. I do sort of get that. But that being said, I think they are just going a little too fast. If you're looking for a first-person shooter game, great. I put up the War Thunder because I sort of like that, and obviously I've done the where are these? Where are the movies? I'm sending them up there. Already put them on board the ship somewhere. No. Oh, they're not even freaking moving up there yet. Damn. Strategically redeploy, get them up there. So, I don't know. The speed that they play, I could readily potentially take the criticism that I'm playing too slow. I know that could be too, but okay. 19th Indian Dagger Division. Let's see, the 19th Indian Division was formed in Hyderabad, India, historically often referred to as a dagger division from its divisional sign, which was a hand thrusting a dagger overhand in yellow and red. Okay. It was raised in Hyderabad in India in Cobra 41 and became part of the Southern Army, which was mainly concerned with the defense against possible seaborne invasion by the Japanese. Its many successes were due to its fitness and high morale, not having been stationed in the unhealthy mountains of India-Burma border in 43 nor during the battle. Okay. Cool. Good. We're getting a lot of nice forces. It's not that. Hyderabad is down here, isn't it? Okay, we've got a couple of divisions here already. Find a good divisional commander for them. There we go. And this one, this one, 2. Okay, well, let's send them down here. I think we're getting ready to use these. Japan. Either in the Burma theater, which obviously we just said one wasn't used there, but we may end up using it there fairly soon. And we're looking for here. We've got this. Let's build one more. That. I think that will help a bit. Let's move that up priority to the top. We're still building this, so December 16th, so may get it done before the Japanese attack. Second level fortress, which will help. Now, as most of you know, I like playing historical, and I like the historical thing. But I also sort of like feel that I don't feel I need to. I sort of talked a little bit about this with some of the postings dealing with the some of the YouTubers who were min-maxing and work to do those kind of things. Oh, you can tackle it. And trying to figure out like the best division composition for Hearts of Iron 4. Just a suggestion. Think historical. That's what. Not that his particular historical one would be the best, but think sort of historical. But so playing is, I don't know, Italy. Figure out, and I don't know, but 6 brigades of infantry and 1 brigade of cavalry and whatever, blah 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 blah. Get you the maxed out division optimization. And that isn't a bad or wrong way to play. But in a way, it's sort of like, well, if the Italians in 1940 had the Panther tank, they would have defeated the British, no problem. Well, they didn't. Okay? Not in 1940. The Germans didn't even have it then. Now, but then again, I don't necessarily feel you need to make every mistake a particular country made. If I have it correctly, at sort of the start of the 36 period, the Italians had a square division, which they sort of, by that they mean it had 4 brigades in the division. And so they were very big divisions. At some point, I think in 36 or 37, they went to binary divisions, and that's a 2 brigade division. And so they doubled the number, basically, at least of line divisions, doubled the number of divisions in the Italian army. Well, that was found especially when fighting, well, also the Greeks, but definitely the British. It was found to be too weak. Part of, if you have equal amount of artillery in each division, you're sort of getting more artillery and that kind of thing. But still, the strength was a bit under. Now it's sort of what, but part of it is also, I will say, Italian equipment and other things. There are, oh, the Germans are back in Greece again. How are they doing with the? Well, they're slowly moving in, but it's October and they haven't gotten very far into the Soviet Union yet. I don't think we're going to see any great German victories against the Soviets, but we'll see. So the Soviets had better equipment and a few other things, and we were talking earlier about 1 brigade as a division. But if you're operating them in different manners, it does matter. So, like I say, they were down at the binary division level. And then you have the situation there that it was too weak, and then sort of they realized that, and to strengthen that up, they sort of attached fascist militia units to a lot of the divisions. Okay, so, but do you need to make the mistake of either having too big of a division that's unwieldy, and it depends, but let's presume for the moment, because I don't know quite the strength of the artillery to either the binary or the square divisions, but they may have been a lot of artillery and reduced it down. I don't know, but let's presume it's the same amount of artillery. So it's not enough artillery, maybe, compared to the number of brigades to support it. So do you have to make the decision of going from the square to the binary? Could you go to a trinary, a 3 brigade division like the Germans had? That to me seems like a reasonable thing to do. It isn't going from it isn't magically trying to create the best division possible, but it isn't it's still within the realm of possibilities, is how I look at it. That's some of the things I look at it. I think that it was well within the realm of possibility to look at Singapore and realize that it had no landward defenses and to build some. It's not turning it into a true Gibraltar. I mean, they thought of it and they looked at this and they thought of that as the Gibraltar of the East, because they really thought that it was going to be a direct naval assault. They didn't realize that how quickly the Japanese would be able to take Malaya. They thought that was sort of not impenetrable jungle precisely, because there were a fair amount of roads. And I know we were talking about this earlier. We may talk about it again, just because not everybody watches everything. The roads go along here. The British would set up a defense, presumably maybe right here along the river, and be dug in and ready to resist the Japanese. The Japanese would cross over through the jungle, not huge amounts of them, but enough of them with enough supplies to fight for a while and cut off and attack this group, which would often surrender or maybe fight its way out and give up. So they kept turning the flanks of the Brits that were just unprepared, didn't prepare the idea of having enough ammo to to ford up and fight out. Now, by the time they got here, they had totally defeated the British commander. He had more troops, more ammunition. The Japanese were just about out of ammunition. Had the British just gone on a good British advance, they would have taken those Japanese. Those Japanese could not have continued to fight, because even if they did have ammunition. They weren't completely out, but they had no resupply. There was no real, they had run past their supply source. So the Japanese would have fought hard, but if the British just would have kept pushing on them with their supply and their larger ground forces, the Japanese would eventually have run out of ammunition and either been put complete to flight or had to surrender themselves. But the British were just, you see your problems, you don't see the enemy's problems in this situation. So they saw all their problems and realized that the Japanese were threatening primarily the water source for Singapore, which I gather was maybe on the mainland or somewhere unprotected, that they could get without having to assault the island directly and starve them out. So they were seeing all their own problems. Well, we're sort of fixing that here. Okay, we're defending the water source. Let's get organized. War is upon us. We must begin to shift our force organization from a purely home defense to a more aggressive stance. Shall we activate our army group, army and corps organizations? Yes, I guess so. Sounds like a plan. Lots of money. I guess we have the money for it, but don't like that. Supplies I do sort of agree with. Well, that's a big hit. We need to start producing more supplies. Let's see, what did they give us here? Lots and lots of stuff here. 21st Army Group, 2nd Army. Oh, good. There's a lot of cores here. We'll use those. Attach those to Home Command. Fleet Command. Okay, well, I'll go to Home Command and we'll put some of those fleet units under that. 15th Army Group. We may attach these somewhere else if we're going to send them to North Africa. Okay, well that's nice. We'll have use for them. Here's our Marines. Up here yet? No, I think we'll need them for the invasion of Shetland. So that's what I'm looking at. I want to put I know we're oversizing this, but we need to transport. Try to transport as much as we can north. Really hit them hard. Okay, agricultural industry. Yay. Lose some more money. Gain a lot more supplies, which we just spent on that. Bunch of HQs. And some manpower. Okay, that's great. Military half-tracks. Military half-tracks have superior movement bonuses and speed, but are expensive to produce and maintain. Activate. Okay, we're activating those because we did the mechanization. Don't recognize that. Is that a British half-track? Don't know. Could be. That license plate to me looks like a Wehrmacht license plate, but I'm not sure. Can't zoom in. Right. But I don't recognize the cab. So I think it may be a British one. Don't know that the British really used transport half-tracks. I know the Americans didn't. American half-tracks were actually fairly primitive mechanically, but very effective, and made tons and tons and tons of them. The British did use a lot, so we sent over as many as we could. But they were all sort of the armored fighting combined type. The U.S. for transport used trucks. They weren't like the Germans, but then again they weren't fighting on the Eastern Front like the Germans, so... and supplies. I will be playing at a bit of different speed for... Okay, there they are. Let's put them on board ships. No, those ships. Planning on making several series for Hearts of Iron 4. Because as you've seen, which a few people, and it would have been a good idea to make some battle plans to sort of show you my plans with this battle plan system, but we want to show them because we're currently using the battle plans to have river names, but create the battle plans, to me they're useless. They don't have any real game effect. And since I run my campaigns very dynamic in a sort of attack path of least resistance type attacks, so I do that kind of stuff. So they really just don't work for me. But as you have seen in some of the, particularly the World War Wednesdays, they do it right, in some cases at least. They do use the battle plans, and they are useful, so I'm thinking at some point I may even do 2 Germany series or something, but one playing with primarily using the battle plan system, and the other one using the micromanaging things. There we go. Okay. Head up here, and then we'll organize yourselves up again and invade again. And so, especially with the battle plans, we'll allow a bit faster speed. I'm not planning on going like Aruba speed and just have everything going real fast. He goes awfully fast. In part, yeah, sure, I want a lot of players or a lot of viewers, what I think of you also as players of the game, to want to view my stuff, but I'm happy to some degree to take suggestions like play speed and what into account. So do give me feedback on things like that. But if I just try to mimic him or Quill 18 or whatever else, why watch me? You've already got them. So I'm, like I was saying in the other previous video, trying to do, one things I'm comfortable with. It was reconnaissance, right? Oh yeah, recon combined. Move it down to the 1940. Yeah. Do things I'm comfortable with, so because that way I'll do better, and two, just to be different, do my style if you like it. Hopefully a bunch of people will want to watch it. To the Italians. Should move some air down here to nave air down here to deal with it. So first I want to deal with all those submarines in the port here and get them cleared out. See? With the evasion, that's sort of what I'm waiting for. Okay, see all those submarines. Not that I'm necessarily going to destroy them, but at minimum I want to displace them. I don't know why they're all just sitting there in port either, but whatever. Okay, keep attacking. Okay, well, those are good divisions. Let's move them to a port. We have something better for them to do than hang about in here. Now, yeah, oh, that's a good division too. We'll get that to port. We will want some of these very light African units maybe to stay here. But right now I'm thinking India could use some support. There's that armor division. Let's strategically redeploy those. Okay, we'll leave those there, but we end up leaving the militia to hang out there, and these guys we end up not needing. Just here. Since we have the hindsight that I pay attention to history, as well as most of you do, we know the attack coming fairly soon. Japan. Now they were paying attention. I was reading, actually listening to audiobooks at my sucking job. Winston Churchill's memoirs that he wrote of the war, particularly the episode or book or whatever you want to call it, the book Alone, which dealt with basically from as France was falling through to the start of the war, Oh, I thought we weren't moving supplies for real. Oh, maybe it... No, bloody hell, maybe I'll figure out not to do that anymore. Well, Greece is getting pummeled. Not much I can really do about that. But, up until the Soviet invasion, and they were worried about Japan before the war started. That was a concern of theirs. It was, you know, I mean, the actual you know, tactical strikes may have been a surprise, but that Japan was working in that direction was not a surprise to the British. They sort of kind of knew it was coming. Well, I thought it could be coming, maybe would be a better term. Not maybe, you know, we know for sure it's coming. Okay, well, we're all up here. I think we're going to save this invasion for next episode. I know it's taking a long time to get there, at least a number of episodes. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. Please post comments. Love hearing from you. Come back next time for more of World War II.